It's an interesting
It's
one.
an interesting one, and only let's see. They could be writers that maybe get paid what they're supposed to be
Oh,
getting paid in this age of streaming. Maybe
oh,
they're the missing link to all of
oh my
this.
God.
Oh, right, because we all know that
Are you
they're getting
saying?
paid really well, especially for the this age of streaming, right? Oh, what?
Well, it's gonna be written by Chat GBT because all the
Oh,
writers are on strike.
like that. See, and that's the problem. People haven't really realized that. People think that like they're like, oh my God, the novelty of AI or whatever. But it's like AI. If AI starts writing all these things, like there was a song they posted a video of a song written by an
Drake.
AI. It was a Drake song, and I was like, dang, this is actually pretty fucking good.
I haven't
It's
listened to
yeah,
it.
it's good. It sounds like old school Drake, and it sounds pretty fire. Like I was like, damn, these rhymes are pretty good. I know it doesn't mean anything, but at the same time, it means everything. You know what I'm saying? Oh dang,
It's California. It's LA. There was
it was an
a little
earthquake.
earthquake. It's okay.
It was a 2.1. But yeah, like that's crazy.
But
Because then
all AI does is take existing
well, it extrapolates,
words
right?
and art and sounds, things that we've already as humans created and put out into the world. So I don't see AI as having the creativity, the awareness, just the inherent ability to be creative. It can put out stuff that is creative, but it can't be creative itself. It can't come up with something new. All it can put out is this like remixed, stale interpretation of what's already been done.
But isn't that what art is right now?
No, we
I mean,
work
because
with kids that come up with wild stuff every day, and we have to rein them in and say, okay, how can we take this wild idea that you just came up with and kind of dumb it
Mm.
down or like simplify it for our class in a way that we can do it? But their storytelling is original, and maybe they're like using references like, oh, this character will turn into Megamind. But the way that they came up with why this character is turning into Megamind and going into the Minecraft world and has to like find the portal, like it almost makes no sense, but that's like the beauty of it. Their imaginations are just going with it and they're creating new things, and there's nothing stale about it. The AI would literally be limited to this is how Minecraft works. I'm just going to
yeah,
give you a Minecraft. Blah, 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 blah. It's not
it's
gonna
all like algorithms as
exactly. It's
opposed to like
only drawing on what it can draw on versus like just boom, lightning in a bottle strikes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, the moment that AI can shake its ass, then we're in trouble. But right now, AI cannot shake its ass. You know,
No
it
soul.
does no soul, no
No.
like no twerk. You know.
You look at an AI art, all those like Mid Journey, whatever, and you can always tell that it's AI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like the thing
Yeah.
that jumps off the page is that a computer made it.
It's like, dear God.
No, what's scary is that that's right now. This is
Right, right.
right
Imagine.
now, whatever time, right? But in the future, it'll just keep getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and slowly
And it's
but
gonna be
surely, it'll start tapping into whatever wonderful event happens in our minds that makes us creative.
But will
It'll.
it?
I feel like surely, like it'll start learning
I
how to
think
do that. The
yeah.
more we feed into it.
I have a belief. And again, beliefs aren't necessarily true or false. They're just but I have a belief that at some point the people that think that AI is not gonna and when I say become self aware, I don't mean like some Skynet
Terminator.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean like where it's gonna make actual creative decisions or like make like individual neurons on its own or whatever. I think by the time they realize that something's happening, it's gonna be too late. Like we're already so slow, and AI is evolving essentially at an exponential rate. It's like technology, right? When we were growing up, I don't know about you, but I got to see an Atari, like at the end, like at the tail end of it. Then I got to see like a Nintendo. I got to see, like a Sega, whatever. And little by little, you see like literally the exponential growth of technology to the point where we have Unreal engines right now that are like that look realistic, photorealistic, and now we have AI art that looks pretty freaking realistic, or like they do like audio editing that sounds like the actual person, stuff right like that, right? But at some point, these people that are like advocates of AI, right? They're like, oh, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. It's like in its own little like environment or whatever. At some point, by the time they realize it, it's gonna be too late because our brain's not gonna be adapting quickly enough. And we see that already. We see that our industries and our bureaucracies are not adapting quickly enough to the advent of technology when it comes to protecting like our rights with the internet, things like that. You know, like again fighting against hackers. You know, like governments and stuff like that. Like I'm like, so I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, are you guys afraid of like AI? Like I am, and maybe not necessarily afraid. Like, oh, I'm gonna get fucking captured and fucking taken to the matrix or whatever. But like, is that something that like
I
freaks
find
you
it
guys out?
discouraging. Like I don't like it. I don't like the things that it comes up with. I'm not particularly impressed. Like the AI Seinfeld episode that just goes on and on with like these, ridiculous looking. It's like a Simpsons looking. I don't know what what I'm talking about. The fake Seinfeld.
I think so.
Like, okay, wow, that's interesting that someone came up with it, but I'm not going to watch that.
Hmm.
A human could have done a better job if they tried versus just leaving it up to some AI to like come up with these jokes that aren't funny and, dialogue that kind of goes in circles. I don't know.
No, that's what I'm precisely afraid of. That, like you said, right? Technology is exponential, and so right now it looks like that. Right now, like you see it that way.
But beyond the look,
Now,
the quality, like the writing, like
5 years
there's
from
nothing
now,
impressive
10,
about
I
it.
know right now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and I feel like just like we caught like the tail end of Atari, like we're gonna be on the forefront of when, and that's what I'm afraid of that when AI like it'll be, we can distinguish what's AI, what's the Three Babosos. Is this the real Three Babosos or
The
is
three
this
bossos.
Bosos, right? We won't be able to distinguish.
Mm,
But
well,
right now we will. Right now you ask chat.
he brought up the jump from like Atari to Unreal Engine 5. And I would still say as great as Unreal Engine is, you're not going to be fooled. You can't go outside and touch Unreal. You can only touch grass. So,
Exactly, yeah. But that's what I mean. It's exponential. Like it'll
but
only
even
keep
at
getting.
the peak that we've gone through now, from like on the previous example, even the best of the best of the best is still like I'd rather, like if you were going to put an Unreal Engine in the background of your movie, I would still prefer you build a set. You're never going to look as good. You watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'm aware that they're standing in front of a green screen the whole time because I can see them standing there and the background looks fake. The lighting is like so like not unique.
Like unilateral. Like,
Unilateral. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can literally see the soundstage if you look hard enough. Like you can see it through the CGI background.
but I think
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say, and I think which I'm in agreement with, is that like this is at this particular juncture, right, where our perception is still advanced enough to be able to tell the difference between this reality that we're observing and the reality that the AI is creating. But I have a strong suspicion that at some point with the development of technologies, haptics, right, which are the things that allow you to touch things, right? And again, those things are still evolving, but with like haptics and all this stuff,
Like
right?
VR.
Yeah. There's a strong possibility that at some point in the future, in the near future, that line is going to be starting to be blurred, and our eyes and own senses are not going to be as readily advanced as the output that AI is producing. That the AI is going to be producing very near realistic, tactile, sonic, uh, like olfactory and vision experiences at some point in the near future. That's my belief, and only because we've seen how quickly technology has advanced from the advent of the iPhone, advent of computers, uh, all sorts of stuff like that, like quantum computing, all that kinds of stuff. Like, and that's not to say that what you're saying doesn't. Obviously, it has value because as an artist and as people who we like the value of art isn't just in the art itself, it's in the community that you build around it, right? And I think that's what goes back to like the whole performance aspect of it, right? Like your art can't just exist in the vacuum of of like a hard disk. It has to exist out freely in the open when you perform it, right? Which goes back to what you were saying. So at some point we have to be able to kind of like continue to exist as community even throughout the advent of these like life-changing technologies or like world-changing technologies. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I'm just kind of, like, it's like a philosophical kind of thing, you know?
No, yeah, I mean, feel like we're just kids. You know, when we were kids in the age of technology, right? Just within the last 100 years, like, feel like we're still kids. Humanity, we're just still kids. When I was a kid, I used to watch TV shows and I would be like blown away. I'm like, wow, that's magic. I couldn't describe it. I couldn't explain it. That's magic. That's the only way that I could like explain it all. Right, we're talking about like green screens, blue screens, right? All of that, like it's magic. I didn't think about it as green screen. Obviously, right, as we get older, right, we things start to get, we understand things, how things work, right? When you understand how things work, then you can see it's not magic, right? But I feel like in these humanity, we're still kids. There's still a lot of things that we won't be able to understand until maybe it won't be even our lifetimes. But until humanity is at a mature age, and I'm talking maybe 1,000 years from now. I don't know, maybe 10,000 years from now, and that's when things are gonna be. We won't be able to distinguish anymore, no more. But you know,
What is reality?
yeah.
Are we real? Is
Where are
YouTube
we?
real?
Speaking of
Where
green
are we?
screens,
It's not even a real green screen. You should put like water effect here, like a ripple,
I'm
like a
not even-
Stargate.
I'm not even here.
We just disappear into.
Or just
not
old
even
episodes of Three Babosos.
Oh yeah, like a weird mirror in mirror kind of thing. Crazy, but true. Crazy if true. That should be a new segment. Crazy if true. Not even crazy, but true. Like
Is it if true?
yeah.